forget last night when the band was playing.
Great night,
There
right?
was some amazing art going on there on the stage.
Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, so what we've been, my company Think Experience, which is part of Think NFT, we've been in the immersive entertainment space, right, for quite a while, because we found that, you know, as an artist, what can you sell? You can't sell music anymore, right?
Right.
There's no place to sell it. Where are you going to sell it? There's no money. You get streaming, but which is a horrible business model for those guys. So I realized that what you can sell is the relationship and the experience. So I've been really focused on the experience side of things. So we've been playing over here today, which is the place we played. We've done about almost 50, 60 shows inside this Wisdome, which is a 360-degree immersive dome. Well, part of what we do is I bring these great artists and painters, and they paint while we play. And so we're going to actually take those were then captured, and now we're minting them as NFTs for that night. But yeah, we have the great Norton Wisdom, who is, you know, legendary live painter. He's painted with everybody from the Dead, I think the Stones, and you know, he comes up on stage and he paints. And what's cool about what he does is he paints the painting and then it morphs. It never stays the same. He paints one and then next thing he changes it, like with his hands, and he starts moving the paint around.
So it's very Buddhist, just destroy and start over.
Yeah,
right?
so what he hears, he always jams with the band, you know, so he makes some really cool paintings. So we had him and a couple other painters painting that night. And, you know, remember the old idea is how do I, you know, make it an experience for people. And so people then can capture this experience. Now they can go buy the NFT of that one particular thing. They can also, it's tied into merch, so they can get their NFT, that's also get a shirt that gets delivered to them at the same time. So we're working on ways of really kind of, how do we kind of monetize for the artist, but also give the fans something that they can own and have for stuff.
So last night when the band was on stage, you have the painter, and I was thinking, you know, flashback to Andy Warhol Factory days, right, where you would have that same type of thing. It's almost like it disappeared for 50 years. Here it's coming back. Oh, and now we have the NFT element that we can wrap around this. Amazing that we have a whole other dimension.
Right, and you know, besides that, what we're doing is Nifty Tunes. So Bob, he goes by Basie Bob. He's a big-time producer. Produced, you know, two-time Grammy winner, Academy Award nominated guy. Started a company, and I've been working with him on. It's called, what they do is we've been jamming to loops, so we play on top of the loops, but they're bringing up incredible classic NFTs. So like you could have a Bored Ape and they do all this stuff to it to visualize it. We're jamming and then we mint it in real time. So we're going to be doing that tonight too, back in the room. So we actually creating some new derivative works and minting this stuff in real time. So yeah, it's really a lot of fun. But yeah, we had a blast last night. The place was hopping, right?
Yeah, hopping. It brought back a lot of memories for me.
All right, good,
Thanks
There's
again.
nothing like Floyd music. I mean, it's so classic, right?
There's really not. I mean, Us and Them, every time I hear that song, it does something to me.
Well, that's one of my
favorite. It does
favorite.
something to a lot of us.
Well, that's one of my favorite ones because that's a lot of saxophone, right?
Yeah.
You know, so I used to love doing that, you know. Funny story is I used to, when we were out with Floyd, right? They had this light, a big light right behind me, right? And so every time I'd go in and I'd go in for Us and Them, they would take that light on my solo and they would blast it, right? And I'd be like, this light thing from behind, right? And this thing, but people were looking at me this way, but against the back of the stadium, it was like one of these things. You know how when you're doing this, I could see myself because my shadow was massive on the back of the stadium. And I'd sit there and I'd like make all these shapes. So I was like going like this. It was the funniest thing. Nobody ever saw it except for me. You know, because I would be this massive thing because of that light on the stage. So I always thought that was funny because it was crazy looking.
That was a blast, and to hear Money, and most people don't realize the song is in 7/8 time.
Oh, that's
and
right.
you never realize, and if you're not a musician, it just sort of goes over your head. But that's not easy to pull off. Maybe
it's an odd time,
for a few measures, but just consistently to keep that 7/8 going through.
Yeah, it's funny because most people, you know, how do you dance to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 1, 2, 3, instead of 1?
Do you break it up 3 or 4 or 4 or 3? Like it depends how I think your body breaks it up.
It's how the melody kind of makes it, breaks it up. Yeah.
Right. Fascinating. Thank you so much. This was
all right, buddy.
This was
good.
Great
Thank you very much for having me.
All
right.